Or Jhene Aiko dropped tracks like While We're Young, Sativa, To Love and Die, and The Worst. Or hooking up with Big Sean romantically and musically and getting his portrait tattooed on her arm before she made strange demands off her drivers. Jhene Aiko grew up with 4 older siblings in a very musical home in Los Angeles. Her dad was an aspiring musician, as was her brother, and her mother managed her older sisters in a girl group called Gyrl. That's spelled with a Y instead of an I. Through connections established by her older sister's girl group, Jhene first found mainstream success as a preteen associate of a boy band called B2K. But as a teenager, she would be burning some bridges after she left her recording contract with Epic to focus on her schooling. Who does that? But pissing off a record company was the least of her hardships. As a kid, her family home burned to the ground, and she had trouble fitting in school because of her mixed ethnicity. At just 20 years old, she became a single mother, and her brother tragically passed away just a few years later. Yikes. What's going on, guys? My name is Michael McCrudden, documenting the life and career of Jhene Aiko prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. Now, I've covered a ton of other artists on this channel. In fact, I've got a playlist just for singers, so you might want to check that out. But let me know who you want me to document next. You guys gotta let me know in the comments down below, or you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at McCruddenM. Aiko Chilombo was born on March 16, 1988 in Ladera Heights, California.
The youngest of 5. My mom and dad have 5 of us together. 3 girls, 2 boys. We grew up like a pack of wolves.
Music was a big part of her childhood, with just about everyone in the family involved in music in some way, shape, or form. Her mother, Christina Yamamoto, managed her older sisters in a girl group called Gyrl. Her father, Karamo Chilombo, his birth name, Gregory Wyclef Barnes, was a pediatrician with music dreams of his own.
My father, he always had a dream of being a singer. He converted the garage into a studio. We would make songs back there.
She also grew up with her 4 older siblings, including her sister, who you may know as the R&B singer Milla J.
I'm so proud of her because that's my baby sister.
Jhene listened to Brandy all the time and says she fell in love with her voice when she was just 6 years old. Jhene also cited numerous artists as musical influences, including Tupac, Eminem, Aaliyah, Kendrick Lamar, Kid Cudi, Beyonce, John Mayer, Alanis Morissette, Fiona Apple, TLC, and Lil' Kim. Life wasn't always easy for young Jhene. When she was in the 2nd grade, the family's home in South LA burned down. As a preteen, she had trouble making friends. She claims that none of the cliques would accept her because of her mixed ethnic background. Jhene's mother has Japanese, Spanish, and Dominican roots, while her father is part black, part German, part Jewish, and part Native American. Failing to connect with the other kids, well, Jhene asked if she could be homeschooled.
It just got to a point where people would be like, what are you? And I would be like, I'm a girl. Like, I'm just a person. I didn't really feel like I didn't belong anywhere because I knew that I belonged with my family.
Around this time, Jhene's sister's girl group, Gyrl, was working with music manager, producer, and director Chris Stokes, and he would help Jhene get her big break. He also managed the R&B boy band B2K, which included members Lil Fizz, J Boog, and Raz B. Then Amarian joined the group on New Year's Eve, 1999. Chris looped Jhene in on the project. Her singing was featured on their album, she appeared in their videos, and she opened for them on tour. She was also widely marketed as the cousin of B2K member Lil Fizz.
Hi, I'm Jhene. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and actually I'm cousins with Lil Fizz from B2K.
Actually, she's not Lil Fizz's cousin. The group signed to Epic Records in 2002, and the same year released their first #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 called Bump Bump Bump, featuring P. Diddy, aka Brother Love. Here, Jhene made 7 guest appearances on B2K songs and got to work on what would be her debut studio album called My Name is Jhene. The first single was called No Love. They even made a music video for the song, which you can find on Dailymotion. But I found something better on YouTube. Someone made a shot-by-shot animated remake. Let's take a look. Jhene continued to work with B2K regularly and labor on her debut album. It was set to be released in 2003, but it never ended up getting released because of tension between her and the record label Epic. Ultimately, at 16 years old, Jhene got sick of her music career and asked to be released from her contract so she could focus on her schoolwork.
It was really important to say that I completed something, But I was still working with the producers I had met, like writing and singing demos and stuff like that.
At the same time, she was feeling a closer connection to God and was baptized at the evangelical Pentecostal Foursquare Church. While Jhene had returned to a somewhat normal life, she never lost her passion for singing and was still connected to the music industry. She started dating the R&B singer Ryan in 2005. A couple years later, when she completed her high school education, she enrolled in the 2-year public community college, West Los Angeles College. There she took voice lessons but would drop out after getting pregnant. At 20 years old, Jhene gave birth to her daughter, Namiko Love. Her relationship with the father, Ryan, would fizzle out around the same time, but Jhene felt her life coming into new focus when her daughter was born. She stated, "She gave me the focus, the drive, and the urgency to get something done." She told Complex, "I have always been about getting work done, but with my child, something needs to happen, and she just put more passion as far as what I wanted to do with my music, what I wanted to sing about, and my message." After the birth of her daughter, Jhene started to work at a vegan cafe, and she would come home with swollen feet. At the same time, she was beginning to work on a mixtape to relaunch her music career. While working at the restaurant was paying the bills, she realized she couldn't do that and stay focused on her music at the same time.
I couldn't do both, I was too tired. And I remember one day I just was like, I can't go back to the restaurant. Like, I'm just gonna focus on finishing this mixtape and just see what happens from there. So it was like a leap of faith.
In 2010, she made a guest appearance on the Kendrick Lamar track Growing Apart from Everything, although it was 2011 that really marked the beginning of the second phase of her career. That year, she made guest appearances on songs by artists like Schoolboy Q and Ab Soul. She featured on the Hope Right song Body on Me and released her mixtape Sailing Souls through her website JheneAiko.com. She wrote all but one song on her mixtape, which featured collaborations with Drake and Kanye West, and tracks like Mine, and Stranger. Sorry, My Mind threw me off. It's a weird title. In 2012, she would make guest appearances on a total of 7 songs and was hard at work on her next project, an extended play called Sail Out. The debut single from her EP was 3:16 a.m. Her career was finding its footing behind the scenes. Jhene was struggling with a serious issue. Her brother Miyagi, he had brain cancer.
My brother was my closest male relationship. He loved the music, and he put me on to my favorite artists.
She recorded a song on her laptop initially intended to be heard only by him and called it For My Brother. Shortly after he listened to it, he died on July 19, 2012. Wouldn't be the end of Jhene's struggles. The next year, she was involved in a car accident in LA, along with her daughter Namiko and baby daddy Orion. She broke her wrist, chipped a tooth, and had to get stitches on her chin. Her daughter, on the other hand, was totally unharmed. Kids, they're so resilient. That's why they can eat Tide Pods and nothing really happens. I'm just kidding. Seriously, don't eat Tide Pods. Forget I even said that. They're gonna demonetize this video. Let's move on. Jhene's EP Sail Out was released in November of 2013. It hit number 2 on the US R&B/hip hop chart and number 8 on the US Hot 200. It was also certified gold by RIAA and included singles like Bed Peace featuring Childish Gambino and The Worst, which was certified platinum and hit number 9 on the R&B singles chart. Top of that music video has gone on to rack up 97 million views on YouTube. Not bad. In 2014, Jhene would release her debut studio album, Sold Out. The LP hit number 3 on the Hot 200 and number 1 on the R&B hip hop chart. The album featured singles Spotless Mind, Waiting, The Pressure, and To Love and Die. Same year, Jhene was nominated for 3 Soul Train Awards, 2 AMAs, and 2 BET Awards, and the Centric Award for her song The Worst. She would also be nominated for 3 Grammys in 2015. Behind the scenes, Jhene would begin dating music producer Dot the Genius, and the pair would marry in July of 2014. They would separate around a year later in 2015, but most fans were unaware of their marital status until March of 2016, when Dot the Genius first publicly acknowledged the relationship in a birthday message on Instagram. In August of 2016, Jhene filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Irreconcilable differences, that's it. Around this time, she would also begin dating Big Sean, and she clearly fell hard for him, eventually going on to get a tattoo of his face on her left arm. The pair would also put out a collaborative album called 2088 in 2016, which topped both the US R&B hip hop chart and the US rap chart. It also hit number 5 on the Hot 200. In 2017, Jhene released her studio album Trip with songs While We're Young and Sativa featuring Sway Lee of Ray Shremmerd. Before the album was released, Jhene also released a 23-minute long autobiographical film with the same name. So if you want to know more about her life, you should probably go check that out. But as for the rest of the story, well, I'm gonna wrap this one up here because this is before they're famous. My name is Michael McCrudden and we make all sorts of celebrity bios here for you on this channel. Be sure to browse around, hit subscribe, let me know who you want me to document next, and I'll see you guys in another video.